makes bundling home and auto easy. Learn more at Progressive.com. Along with Michelle Smallman, Chris Canty, Evan Cohen with you. The highlights here on ESPN Radio. Mark Kessler, PJ Carlissimo with a call last night as the Oklahoma City Thunder even the series at one game apiece, 122-113 at home against San Antonio. SGA leads the way with 30. Storylines, definitely some injuries. No De'Aaron Fox last night. Dylan Harper goes down with a hamstring injury. J-Dub for the Thunder goes down with a hamstring injury, and that becomes a huge storyline. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today?
Doing pretty good. I mean, listen, this is a heavyweight fight. They said it a million times on the broadcast, but it rings true, and you just want to see who's going to survive the war of attrition, because that's what it's turning into. I thought the headline for Game 2 was the injuries. J-Dub going out in the first quarter, Dylan Harper getting hurt in the third quarter. Those loomed large in the outcome of last night's game.
No doubt. Also, Oklahoma City's bench stepping up last night, I thought was a headline as well. 57-25 advantage in bench points for them, obviously making up for the injuries. But not surprised that OKC had the poise, the composure to even the series. There's no panic in that room, as they said last night. But, gosh, I hope this goes 7, because this is so fun to watch.
Also should note, not sure if there was a direct tie-in that I missed, the CM Punk music coming in. I like it. Pat Costello, well done. I guess maybe Oklahoma City punked San Antonio, but I don't think so.
No, it wasn't punking them.
No,
yeah.
no.
I was just trying to find the tie-in with the CM Punk.
But it wasn't punking them, but certainly they let Isaiah Hartenstein take some liberties, because that was a wrestling match between him and Wemby last night. And after playing, 11 minutes in the first game? Like, they allowed Hartenstein to take on the challenge, which is find a way to fluster Wemby, and you have to say mission accomplished, right? He was absolutely phenomenal in terms of being able to push him, pull him, lock up with him, grab him, whatever he could do. And the proof was in the production or the change that we saw from Game 1 to Game 2. In Game 1, Wemby did whatever he wanted in the paint. He absolutely dominated. You're talking about him having 26 points and 13 free throws. So 26 points in the paint and 13 free throws in Game 1 for Wemby. Last night, 10 points in the paint and 2 free throws. That is all Isaiah Hartenstein. I mean, it felt like Randy Orton putting McAfee in the RKO at WrestleMania. That's what it felt like. And the refs were letting it go. And if the refs officiate the game that way, then it's advantage OKC, because that's exactly what Hartenstein should do every single time he's on the court and he's matched up with Wemby. Now, the thing he shouldn't do is allow himself to get put on a poster like Steph Castle did in the second quarter.
My God.
Because that was unbelievable.
Maybe one of the greatest I've ever seen.
That was the highlight of the postseason. Steph Castle dunking on Isaiah Hartenstein. Incredible.
Wemby's response was, I think, all of our responses when he was running back, and he was just like, whoo!
I mean,
unbelievable.
We're watching it on the TV side on ESPN too. If you did not see it and you heard Kesty call it on ESPN Radio, basically, Steph Castle goes up, like cocks the ball back, and then throws it down as hard as you possibly can over Isaiah Hartenstein, and no turnover there, because Steph Castle, unfortunately for him, is prone to that the last 2 games, 20 total turnovers. The intensity of that dunk was unbelievable. I want to go back to something you said, CC, because we've been talking for days, really for as long as he's been in the league. How do you stop Wemby? Well, I'm going to sound old. Back in my day, right? When you're watching the Chicago Bulls growing up like we did, it's, in our childhood, the Bulls were the biggest team in all of sports. And I'll never forget my dad always saying to me, one of the things he liked the most, I don't know if he would still say this, he probably wouldn't even remember he said this, but one of the things that he likes the most about the Bulls roster composition was use 24 fouls at the center position. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, well, none of these guys are going to be valuable offensively like Michael or Scotty or any of the shooters. Because what they need to do is use all 6 fouls, each of them, from Wennington to Cartwright to Longley. James Edwards was great, but John Sally was there for a minute. Go beat people up. Why, CC, you pointed out, if Isaiah Hartenstein's job is literally, you have to go try to beat Wemby up. What's wrong with that? I know it's 2026 and we don't talk like that anymore, but that's what they did, and that's part of the reason they won.
Well, that's what they did, but here's the reason why you don't give iHeart big minutes, or you would think that you wouldn't give him big minutes. It's because he's not going to give you much offensively. And the question is, can you overcome that? Can you supplement what that position is not giving you in the way of production? And last night, the Thunder could because their bench balled out. In game one, they only had one guy coming off the bench that had double figures. That was Alex Caruso. He was awesome. He dropped 31. Last night, you got 4 guys off the bench in double figures. Small as you mentioned it. Their bench outscored the Spurs bench 57-25.
Yep.
I mean, listen.
And forced 11 turnovers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
11 of the 14 steals.
As good as Devin Vassell was last night, the minutes that he was able to give him, like off the bench, I mean, Jalen Williams, the other J-Dub, Jared McCain, Casey Wallace, A.J. Mitchell, those guys were awesome. I mean, Caruso does his thing always.
He's so good.
But those other guys were awesome in terms of being able to score the basketball, knock down open shots. And that's why it's okay to go out there and play Hartenstein 27 minutes.
To try to beat Wemby up. Go do it.
No question about it. And it worked.
Yes.
You're saying that it worked. Wemby had 21, 17, and 6.
But that's way less than the last game. Seriously.
You contained him a little.
Okay.
No, you're laughing.
The guy's averaging 30 and 20 through 2 games.
Right, so you held him under his averages.
Sure. But to me, like, the injuries were the big thing last night. Also, Mark Daigneault making the adjustment with Hartenstein on Wemby. The other adjustment that Daigneault made, having an answer for the zone that San Antonio jumped into. You saw it in the second half. Spurs jump into a zone. They camp out Alex Caruso at the free throw line, allow him to play make from there, being able to throw the lobs to Chet, being able to kick out to open shooters. He found A.J. Mitchell for a nice dish with a layup at the rim. Like, those are the types of things that have to happen in this series if OKC is going to find their way on the other side of it, especially without Jalen Williams. They're going to have their coach put them in situations where they can steal a game or two.
I think there's no question about that. Caruso playing that high post either against a 2-3 or I think they were playing a little bit of a 1-2-2 at times during the course of the game last night. Obviously, you can play make from that high post position. Now, you bring up the injuries. J-Dub, a huge injury for Oklahoma City. They're kind of now used to playing without him. San Antonio, conversely, without De'Aaron Fox, didn't kill them in game one. I even made the statement, not to be insulting towards De'Aaron Fox, that I thought it helped them at times that Harper played more. Not about Fox, but that Harper played more. Here's the problem. When there's no Fox in game 2 and Harper gets hurt, and now Steph Castle is turning the ball over left and right, you got a little bit of a problem. Mitch Johnson, the great head coach of the Spurs, addressed it post-game on the turnovers for Steph Castle.
You know, obviously this team is as good as anybody at turning you over. So when you're down some of your primary creators and initiators, it causes a little bit of an extra strain, whether that's who to play, what to run, et cetera. And we'll just have to be sharper in that area because it's tough, fully loaded against these guys. So we obviously 27 points off turnovers is not a winning formula.
De'Aaron Fox did not play because of ankle. Dylan Harper, right hamstring injury in the third quarter, 5:25 to go in the game. We don't know about either status for game 3.
De'Aaron Fox need to bring his ass back. Dylan Harper's dealing with a hamstring, as you're seeing with J-Dub from OKC. Hamstrings are always tricky. We don't have a diagnosis on it. I'm sure they're going to do an MRI and figure out a timeline to return. He may be back for game 3. We might not see him the rest of the series. You just never know until you get the study done. But De'Aaron Fox, we thought he could be back in game 2. He was in street clothes. We got the announcement. We were at the SBJ Awards last night that he wasn't going to play. Mm-hmm. Ankle injury, Western Conference Finals, you're going up against the reigning defending champs. You need to have your ass back up. I don't care what you need to be back in the uniform. Your team needs you. Now, I'm not saying that Steph Castle can't do the job, but when you have Dylan Harper, it is somewhat of a relief valve. Nobody has a better finish package at the rim on San Antonio's team. I mean, outside of Wemby, nobody has a better finish package at the rim for the Spurs than Dylan Harper. They need his ability to be able to create, to be able to get buckets on his own, to be able to create opportunities for others. They need that. They need to have another option outside of Steph Castle. Steph Castle has done a good job at being able to distribute the basketball, but he's also been turning the ball over like it's going out of style. 9 turnovers last night, 11 turnovers in game 1. That's just uncalled for. His 9 turnovers last night led to 11 points for the Oklahoma City Thunder. His 20 turnovers this series have led to 21 points for the Oklahoma City Thunder. That can't happen. We know that these are going to be clutch time games within 5 points in the final 5 minutes. You can't have your lead ball handler, your decision maker, your initiator on the offensive side of the ball, giving the ball to the other team, especially when that other team is OKC. So something about that has to change. Steph Castle, I'm sure he's going to clean a lot of those things up. Being back in San Antonio will help. But also having an experienced veteran in De'Aaron Fox on the court, so there's not that pressure on Steph Castle to have to do everything in the fourth quarter like he did last night. That's going to matter.
1980 NBA Finals. Remember what happened? Kareem gets hurt.
No.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Magic Johnson has to play center.
Okay, I do remember what happened.
I know you do. Wemby should play point guard for them. If these guys are, I'm telling you, Wemby should bring the ball up. You don't. There's no one who can dribble on this team.
No, they did that. They had a fast break where they got a takeaway. It was a fast break. They gave it to Wemby in the middle of the court. You know what happened? It was a turnover by Wemby followed by a foul by Wemby. That's not. You don't want a 7'5" guy handling the ball consistently in the middle of the floor.
I'd rather him by the rim, obviously, but if you
he's 7'5",
but they can't get him
when he catches the ball, I want him to have the ball up here. Don't put the ball down here where other guys can get it.
I agree, but they're in dire straits. If they have if Fox and Harper don't play.
Listen,
Jordan McLaughlin is going to be your guy.
Steph Castle is a lottery pick. I understand.
He's awesome, but not as a point guard.
Well, you say not as a point guard. He had 5 assists in the fourth quarter last night.
He's turning the ball over 20. I like that shot of Pat just now.
I understand that, but he is capable of being able to distribute the basketball. He's shown that. The only problem is he's distributed it to both teams. And something about that has to change. Like, stop. Listen, the